Hello everyone, this is video 1 of 6. This video is called Market Research. Okay, so what we're going to do in this video, we're going to identify our goals. And we're going to do that by understanding who our competitors are. So we're briefly going to research our competitors. We're going to identify their links. We're going to see who's paying for expensive ads. And we're going to find groups. And we're also going to find long tail and short tail keyword phrases. And also, the reason why we want to do this is because we want to find who our competitors' audience is. That's the goal. We want to figure out who their customers are. And then once we know who their customers are, we can then take the time to listen to their audience and get an idea of what they're not getting. Of what they're lacking from our competitors. And then what we want to do is we want to fly in and give them what they're lacking. So that's the whole goal / strategy of this video. So let's go ahead and get started by understanding how to research our competitors. So here we are on Google, and I get people who tell me, how do you research your competitors? You may have an idea of who your competitors are. The top people in your field may be your competitors, but you may not know other people who may be flying below the radar. And so we can start by understanding our competitors by typing in our keywords. What's our niche? What field are we working in? What industry are we working in? So for me, I'm an online marketer. So I'm going to go ahead and type in something called marketing online. And I'm just doing this to get an idea of how many people are competing. And I can see here it's over 1 billion people who are competing. So there's a lot of competition for this keyword. And when we look here, it says about, these are the competing pages up here. So you can get an idea of how many people are racing against you, And so the people who are the fastest with the most authority are going to get into the first, second, third position, and even on the first page. And so we see here, in the first position, we have entrepreneur.com. In the third position, we have quick sprout, so on and so forth. In my e-course, I go more into ranking and SEO and traffic and so on and so forth. But for this video, we're going to keep it as short as possible and not go into so much detail. Over here, we can see ads. We can get an idea of who's paying for ads. We see here Full Sail EDU is paying for ads for internet marketing degree. And we see here Best Online Marketing, jumpfly.com is paying for ads. Thrivehive.com is paying for ads. You can see all these people are actually paying good money for ads. Also in these positions here, in these first 3 positions here, these are all ads that are paid for. So we can see here Houston Digital Marketing is paying for ads. We can see here Salesforce.com is paying for ads. ReachLocal.com is paying for ads. So these are all the people who are coming out of their pocket to pay for ads. So now you want to ask yourself, well, if they're paying for ads, how much are they paying for the keyword marketing online? This is important because if they're paying a lot of money for this keyword, you can bet that they're making this money back and then some. So what we're going to do now is go to Keyword Planner, and this is through Google AdWords. If you have a Google account, you should be able to access this relatively easy. I think you just have to sign up for Google AdWords and then you should have access to it. And so what we're going to do here is just highlight search for new keyword and ad group ideas. And we're going to put the same keyword, marketing online. Let's see what comes up. We're going to hit get ideas. And see, we don't see marketing online, that word, those words coming up, identical matches for those words. However, we can get an idea of what people are typing in, similar to those words or in combination. And we can see here, okay, business marketing online, average monthly searches is 40, competition is medium, marketing online business, another competitive, that's a long tail keyword phrase, 40, competition is high. So for one bid, it's $17.92. So that's for one person's eyeballs, just to click on it. That's not for the conversions, it's just them clicking on it. Marketing an online business, again, there's 40 monthly searches, and that one gets 31. That one you have to pay $31 for. So you can see these are not cheap. These are not cheap. If you are buying leads, be buying these leads at $17.92, and there's no guarantee that these leads are going to convert. Here's a big one here: online business. That's a short tail keyword. It's going to be difficult to rank for that, but that one gets 4,400 hits, so it's highly competitive, and the bid for that is $7.86. Another one here: how to market your online business. Average monthly searches, there's 50. It's high. And so basically people are paying $10 for that keyword. So they're paying $10 for one person to visit their site. And again, that doesn't entail that they're going to be able to convert those visitors. So you can get an idea of who's paying, big money for ads, and they have to be really great companies that, number one, have figured out how to work with Google AdWords, which can be a bit confusing. And number two, they have the money to spend. And number three, if they're spending money on ads, it's probably a lucrative niche. Okay, so you really want to pick a niche or a service or a product that people are bidding on and people are going crazy about, because you don't want to take the chance of creating something entirely new that nobody knows about, number one, and number two, nobody cares about because you're going to have a difficult time selling it. But if there's a whole bunch of fish in the water, that means that people want it and they want it badly and they're buying it. And that's very important for us. And people like entrepreneur.com, they're writing about it. And obviously they're doing that because they understand that there's a market that's hungry for it. So we as marketers, we respond to our market. So here I am. I'm logged into LinkedIn. And another thing you want to do is you want to find groups. And LinkedIn is a great place to find groups because there's a lot of professionals on LinkedIn. It's a professional network. And so you get into a group and you can just kind of hang out and listen and get an idea of what people are doing and saying. And so we're going to go ahead and type in marketing online in the same search results and see what groups we can actually join. So we can go ahead and we can type in online marketing groups here, and then we can look at open groups because we want to go into a group that's open. Sometimes if they're closed, you have to contact them and ask permission. And some people are very selective about who they allow into their group. So you want to listen at the same time, but sometimes people have their own networks going on the internet, and they have their own people. So if that's the case, then you want to stay away from those kind of groups, especially if they're private or they're not open to outside members. However, you can see here that there's tons of groups. The online marketing network here, you can join that one. And this one here has 3,429 people in it, which is good. You want to join groups that people are in. Okay. And so here you can get an idea of the groups that you can join and the groups that you can just sit and listen, for the first week or so or 2 weeks before you do anything else. You're just sitting and listening. Now there's another place that you can actually go to get leads. Of course, there's other social media platforms you can use. As far as finding your groups, there's Facebook. You can use graph search on Facebook to find groups. You can also find groups on Google+, and you can also find groups in the form of list on Twitter. I like to use LinkedIn because it gives me a great idea of who my members are. It's easy for me to go and research their names and their professions and their work history. It also gives me an idea of other groups that they're in. So it's a great way to break the ice, so to speak, because I have so much information to work with. So LinkedIn is an excellent source to start because it's a professional network, and again, we're all professional. And it gives us a great synopsis, or in many cases, an in-depth profile of different people in our groups. And again, we're not really soliciting, I hate to use that word, but we're not really prospecting for leads yet. We're listening to our audience, and we're kind of getting an idea of who they are. So the more information that we have, the better. And I found that Facebook, there's not so much information. Of course, you can friend them and they can allow you to have access to their page, but there's not a lot of information about really who they are on Facebook as far as them being a professional. Same thing with Twitter. Twitter is, you see a few things here and there, but not too much. And so once you're able to get into LinkedIn, you see people's profiles, and then you can get an idea of who they are. Now, all the things that I'm suggesting are free. You don't have to pay for the premium membership on LinkedIn. If you do that, you can do that, but you don't have to. Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap this up for video 1, and I will see you in video 2.